Welcome to Hack the File. I'm Michael Lopez, and on today's video, we're going to be doing the second video in the Analyzing Packets chapter on the Ethical Hacking series book. Enjoy. Okay, we're back. I'm really enjoying doing this book. After I do this book, I want to do this book next. So, not that book. So, I want to do How to Hack Like a Legend next. And this one is very interesting. And I'm going to try and follow it as closely as I can. So, this one actually has you buy Bitcoin and register with because it's untraceable, right? And has you buy a cloud storage or something. I don't know what the heck, but I'm gonna go ahead and give that a shot. Maybe go get a burner or a temporary debit card and get me some Bitcoin and maybe make some accounts that just for it and stuff. So so this book is actually different. It's role playing and stuff, but it's actually going through the steps on how you do certain things, right? So this one I think would be a little bit more advanced. I've looked at it and I'm like, okay, this one's a little more advanced. So this one would have to be after the ethical hacking book I do. Then I might be able to get through this book, but for now I don't think I would be. I don't know. Anyways, so we'll pick up where we left off on this chapter, and so we left off on this page right here. This command, we ran that command, the trace route, and we looked at the results. And so now we're here, and again, a recap on this. Watch the video before, but this is basically giving you a lot of information on analyzing packets, right? So let's just begin. The data link layer. The data link layer is responsible for communications between NICs, NICs. It also detects errors that have occurred during transmission. For example, Wi-Fi signals may become corrupted during transmission due to interference from radio signals. The data link layer also implements the MAC protocol, which is responsible for sharing the transmission medium, for example, radio spectrum or wires. Consider the laptops in a coffee shop. How is it possible for all these machines to transmit Wi-Fi radios without interference with one another? Well, Wi-Fi implements a MAC protocol called Carrier Sense Multiple Access, which listens to the Wi-Fi signals and then transmits only when no one else is transmitting. Essentially, the laptop in the coffee shops are all waiting their turn by listening for an empty slot. The physical layer. The physical layer is responsible for converting ones and zeros that represent data in a computer into transmittable form. This could mean translating them into pulses of light, radio or electrical signals, or even sound. So this would be pulses of light would be fiber optic cables. For example, communications at the physical layer might use a laser that emits pulses of light into a, fiber optic cable. Viewing packets in Wireshark. Now let's examine some packets. Wireshark is a tool that allows you to capture and view the packets that flow through your NIC. Remember, that's your NIC card, right? It's installed by default in most Kali Linux installations, and that's what we're going to use. To launch Wireshark, click Applications, Sniffing and Snooping, Wireshark, or open a terminal window and run the following command: sudo Wireshark. If Wireshark is not installed, install it by running the following: sudo apt install member Wireshark. It's important to run Wireshark with root privileges so it has unrestricted access to your computer's interface. After you start Wireshark, you should see the welcome screen similar to this. Alright, let's now we're gonna do this. This is gonna be awesome. But I might not be able to show you too much of everything because I think this is gonna run on my network, even if it's on my the network I created, and it's gonna show everybody's all my devices. I've got a ton of devices on my network, right? Because I've got tablets, kids, TVs. So I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but we're gonna try it. Okay. So let's go ahead and start. Let's go ahead and start. The little virtual environment. I had to restart my computer the other day, so I'm gonna have to restart all this stuff. So let's start Metasploitable. Alright, I got everything loaded. I got my Kali box up. Okay, so it says run sudo Wireshark. Let's see if we can do that. It says run it in root. Alright, sudo Wireshark. Alright, that pulled it right up. There's Wireshark. We're gonna make this a little bit bigger so we can see. Alright, let's see what's next. So it says if Wireshark is not installed, sudo apt install Wireshark. But remember, it's always sudo apt install. Okay, and then the name. It's important to run Wireshark with root privileges. We already did that, and that's what we got. Okay, that kind of look. What are we looking for? Yeah. So it has the capture Wireshark network the Wireshark network analyzer. It's got all this stuff. So etho 0 has a little activity. Any has a little activity. That's what it looks like. There's your capture, etho, any. Let's see. The welcome screen lists the interfaces your machine uses to communicate with the network. Because all your virtual lab devices are attached to an Ethernet interface, we'll monitor traffic on the etho interface. Select this interface by clicking etho. On the other hand, if you want to monitor Wi-Fi traffic, you should select the WLAN interface. A third interface labeled LO represents a virtual network interface called the loopback interface, which redirects traffic back to the machine itself. Let's use Wireshark to view the packets we intercepted during the ARP spoofing attack in Chapter 2. So we're probably going to have to run that real quick. Recall that an ARP spoofing attack tricks the network into routing the victim's incoming and outgoing traffic through the hacker's NIC. Figure 3.7 shows an overview of how we use Wireshark to view the packets intercepted during the ARP spoofing attack. Okay, let me read that again. Figure 3.7 shows an overview of how we use Wireshark to view the packets intercepted during the ARP spoofing attack. All right. Packets are duplicated as they enter the NIC, and the copies are sent directly to Wireshark using operating system drivers in the npcap library. Simultaneously, the card forwards the original packets to the victim's NIC, where they are sent to the victim's browser. The browser displays the web page, facebook.com, in this example, and the victim remains completely unaware that their packets are intercepted. Okay, so we'll look at this. Apps. So here's the hacker, the Kali machine, so that's mine. App is Wireshark, Linux operating system, npcap driver. Hardware is the NIC. NIC to NIC. So we're gonna follow the one. I don't know what I'm doing. So facebook.com is the website. Goes on the internet. Goes to my NIC. It goes to the hacker's NIC. And then it goes to the npcap driver to Wireshark. Then it goes to the NIC of the victim's machine, and then their browser. Okay. To avoid having to re-execute an ARP spoofing attack, okay, we'll examine packets we generate ourselves on Kali Linux virtual machine. All right, nice. That's going to be better. I didn't want to run that again. However, if you wanted to perform another ARP spoofing attack, you could still use the steps described here. We're just going to do what you said. First, we'll pretend to be the victim and generate some traffic by accessing the web server on the Metasploitable machine. Because we didn't configure a DNS server in our setup, our victim can't access the Metasploitable server by entering the URL Evil Corp. Can't access the Metasploitable server by entering a URL like www.evilcorp.com. Evil Corp, that's a reference to that show, the hacking show. Dang it, my brain. The heck is it called? I can't remember. Anyways, instead, we'll manually obtain the server's IP address. Log into the Metasploitable machine using the username msfadmin, password msfadmin. When you've logged in, run the command to obtain the IP address. So let's go into our Metasploitable. And it's already logged in. Let's do ifconfig. Now, I think we were on Etho 1. So oh. Okay. I put an O instead of a 0. It's ETH0. Etho. Alright. So this is what they get. And we get kind of... Let me try something. Alright. So now we'll keep reading. The value after the INET address is the IP address. INET address. So right there on this line right here is that. That's for my Metasplittable. Okay. Back in the Kali Linux, let's start the packet capture. Process the. Let's close this. Let's go back to Kali Linux. Back in the Kali Linux, start the packet capture process by clicking on the shark fin icon. That's going to be right there in the upper left corner of Wireshark screen. Next, we will pretend to be the victim and generate packets by opening Firefox browser and entering the server's IP address into the address bar from my Kali box. For example, HTTP 192 whatever. I want to put mine in there. Your machine might have a different address. Figure 3.8 shows the three main sections of the Wireshark capture string. List of packets received. Okay, we're not gonna do that yet. Okay, back in Kali Linux, start the packet capture by clicking the upper left corner of the Wireshark. Next, we'll pretend to be the victim and generate packets by opening the Firefox browser and entering the server's IP. Okay, so I think we're doing that from the Kali Linux box. Before we do that, I want to see what the it's 192.168.168.1.100. 192.168.1.100. Alright, so we'll do this. And we'll go here. Ah. One 192.168.1.100. Yeah, so it's trying to. So it's getting captured. That's why it's just going and going and going. Let's see what it says. Here goes all the little requests. Alright, now let's go to. So this top part is your list of packets received. This middle part is the packet fields and values. And the bottom is your binary and hex representation of the packet. Let's see that. So this is the. Oh, this one has it all like lined like this. So there's your binary and hexadecimal representation of each packet. Let's go here. This is just capturing packets. Alright. Let's go back. Let's go to. If you choose to do this in the context of ARP spoofing, you would generate the traffic from the victim's machine instead of the Kali Linux machine. Once the page has loaded, click the red stop icon. The page is not loading. Problem with load connection. Oh, okay. We're gonna stop this. And we're gonna go here. Okay, then we're gonna do that. Start again. Do I got Wi-Fi? Alright, let me see. I gotta make sure that. Oh, this is a new VM. So, let me pause this. Well, actually, I had to redo my VM because it wasn't working. So I have to set up my network back. All right, I'm back. I fixed it. I basically had to restart my firewall, the pfSense firewall, and I had to restart um, the virtual machine. So, all right, we're back. We're connected, and let's run this again. So, it wanted us to put in. So I'm gonna open up a new tab. HTTP. Oh man, why is that? Why does my nums lock have to be reset all the time? HTTP. Alright, so that's working now. Let's start Wireshark again. So we're gonna go here. Alright, so sudo Wireshark. Start up Wireshark. Wireshark is being started. Now we're gonna do the packet capture, and then we're gonna come over here and do HTTP 192.168.1.100. Get to Metasploitable. It's already capturing packets. Okay, now we'll look and see what it says next to do. Okay, if you choose to do this, we did. Once the page is loaded, click the red stop button. So stop to end the capture. Notice that the process of opening the browser and visiting the single web page generated more than 4,000 packets. Did it? Let's see. That's only 52 packets. Maybe if I let it run. Want to try it again? Let's try that again. Because that wasn't accurate. So we'll start, continue without saving. So now it's trying to capture packets. Let's open up a HTTP. Remember, that one's not secure HTTP. It opened up the web page. And how many packets? It's got 23 this time. So that's not really accurate. I wonder why. Let's see what packets it's. Let's open this again. What the heck is going on? Oh. So it didn't pick any of these ETH0 or any. It just says to do the packet capture. Okay, we got the thing. Next, we'll pretend to be the victim by opening the Firefox browser and entering the thing. And that's what it should be doing. This one only says 55 to 60 anyways. Huh. Alright, that's fine. I think that I'm reading that, I'm looking at it wrong. So, let's do it again. So we'll close this. We'll start capturing. We'll go here. Redo that. Actually, do it again. Doesn't matter. Okay. And then we'll stop it. And it captured all those packets, right? Because we stopped it. And all right, we'll go from there. Let's go to the next thing. How could an attacker possibly sift through all this information and learn about the victim? Not to worry, Wireshark contains a filter function that allows you to find the packets that interest you. Let's assume that you're interested in viewing only packets that have been sent to the Metasploitable server at the IP address, our IP address. Enter in the following command into the filter box so the Wireshark will display only packets exchanged with the Metasploitable server. So ip.dst equals, and then let's do that. So up here, isp.dst equals so that work? ip.dst. Why did I put ISP? What the heck is that? Alright, there you go. And now it filtered out the source, only this IP from here, destination. So this is where it's coming from, this is where it's going. TCP protocol, info, SYN, and it is get HTTP. Alright. Well, that sorted it. Alright. Let's examine this command closely. Here we are limiting the packets to only those with the destination IP. So IP.destination equals this one. IP destination of our IP shows the results of the running this filtered query. So IP.addr, it's a little different. It shows the destination. Filtering packets to include only those that are sent to the server reduces the number of packets you need to examine. Once you understand the general syntax of Wireshark display filters, you can construct filters of your own. Here is the structure of a Wireshark filter: protocol, header slash field, operator, plus, equals, not equal to, and then the value. First specify the protocol. For example, TCP or IP. Next, specify the packet field you would like to filter on. For example, the source IP address, source, or the destination, destination. Lastly, specify an operator and value. For example, not equals to this, or using the structure, we will construct a filter that displays only packets with the server's source IPs as follow. So this one is IP source. It's only going to show those. And I've noticed that everything is in. This is mathematics, right? Equal to, less than, not equal to. This is all mathematics, and they use that in programming as well. So when you're writing programming, you use that, and they use that in Wireshark. They use it everywhere because it makes sense because we already know what that means in math. Wireshark also allows you to filter packets based on their content. For example, an attacker might find packets that contain a term like password, email, or @Virginia. You can search all TCP packets for the term login using the following filter. TCP contains login. TCP contains login. Armed with these filter techniques, let's identify the TCP packets transmitted between the server and the Kali Linux machine. Right-click one of the packets with the destination address of the Metasploitable server and select Conversation, Filter, TCP. As shown in Figure 310, this will display only packets exchanged between Kali Linux VirtualBox and the Metasploitable. So it says right-click one of the packets. So let's right-click one of these packets. So here, we're gonna, with the destination, okay, we'll do the first one. Right-click, and it said go to, what did it say? Conversation filter, TCP. Let's see what it said. Yeah, TCP, as shown in this. So conversation. So yeah, right click, conversation, TCP. Let's do that. This is equivalent to the following filter. IP source is the ours, or IP destination. All right, let's go back over here and look at this, and let's do what it said. The conversation filter, TCP. So now it's giving me all the ones that are TCP, and they're going to. Anyways, let's see what it says. Now, why are there so many packets if all we did was load a single web page? This happens because the server breaks the web page into smaller pieces and then transmits them as separate packets if a file is too large to be transmitted in a single packet. The recipient will reassemble these packets to recover the original file. Wireshark lets you reconstruct this data from a packet stream by clicking packets and selecting follow, TCP stream. As shown in figure 311, if you do this, you should see the HTML corresponding page. Follow TCP stream. So select the packet, go to follow TCP stream. The reassembled stream should look like this. Oh, let's try that. Let's do this one. Follow TCP stream. Yeah, that's awesome. It shows you what they're looking at. That's crazy. That's awesome. Let's do this one. This one's not gonna be because this one's going. Oh yeah, look at that. It's following the TCP string. Gives you the HTML of the page. It's awesome. Could be like, what are you looking at? Okay, now you know how an attacker can use Wireshark to steal private data from the unencrypted packets intercepted in the ARP spoofing attack. This is why it's so important to ensure your web traffic is encrypted using HTTPS. So when we did HTTP, now if you don't know the difference between HTTP and HTTPS, you need to Google that. But I'm sure if you're getting into cybersecurity, you're already beyond that. One is secured and one is not. Usually, if they got an S in the front or front or the back, it's secured. Analyzing packets collected by your firewall. So I don't know how many minutes I've been doing this, but let me see. Yeah, I think we're at 30 minutes. So let's go ahead and end this video. And I mean, that was fun, a little taste video, and we're getting through this little by little, right? We looked at, let's do a little recap. We looked at, running Wireshark and how powerful Wireshark is, and how we can intercept their packets of what they're looking at, and how powerful it is, right? And then in the next video we'll go through and I guess look, this one is going on port 80. And then we'll go through some more Wireshark stuff I think we'll probably finish this in 3 videos. So on the next one we'll run through all the rest of this and see what's going on with this Wireshark. I mean, it doesn't go in depth in it. It's just giving you an example of how you can use Wireshark. I'm assuming that you're gonna have to get a Wireshark book, and I'm trying to start a Wireshark series. And that's where you're going to learn all the filtering, and you're going to learn how to use Wireshark really well. And I think that's a great skill to have, you know what I mean, because Wireshark is powerful. So this gives you a little taste of using Wireshark. And right here, I guess you're going to play with your pfSense firewall here a little bit, and you're going to look at what's going through your firewall. That's very interesting, and the more you play with your firewall, it's awesome too. So you're going to do TCP dump, which is another thing that's cool, and and then we're going to go get to the exercises. So the next video, like I said, I'm not going to do the exercises. We're going to run through them, and then I'm going to talk about them, right? And because we're doing them, right? And I'm going to discuss how I would do them and stuff. But this chapter was really knowledgeable on what are packets, right? And what you're going to be looking at, because when you're hacking, you need to know what you're looking at, and you need to understand, for the most part, what the SYN is. So when I was looking at the packets, it's you need to know. So let's look at this packet real quick. This packet capture. So I mean, this is all self-explanatory. This is where it's coming from, which is my box, my Kali Linux box. This is where it's going, which was the website of the Metasploitable. Right? This is what protocol. This is all self-explanatory, right? But when you get to here, like this SYN, it tells you that that's the SYN handshake, right? And it's telling you that it's sending that, and it's coming over here. Then this packet is coming from the Metasploitable machine and going to yours, and it's on this. I'm sure this is the port right here, port 80, because it was HTTP, right? And then it's going to this port, I guess. And I'm not too sure about this information. I'm assuming this is the port, and it's going to that port on your box, and then it's saying that it's acknowledging the SYM. So when you look at this is what we're looking at in the book, right? And now it's saying, yep, it's acknowledging. I received this, and then all this stuff is it acknowledge one, and then I'm sure you need to look up more of this, and you'll understand what that means. But for now, the most important thing is looking at what's happening here, right? And then the next one, it comes here and it says, okay, now it's back to your box, and your box is its destination. It's going back to the site. It's on the TCP protocol now. The length. Now it's on. See how it's on this port all the time. So now it's on this port, I guess, right? And it's going to 80, which is HTTP. And then it's acknowledging that, yep, it's back. So this is the three-way handshake right here, right? Boom, boom, boom. Send it. They acknowledge, and you acknowledge that you got that acknowledgement, right? So it's three. This is what that is, right? And then it's saying, and all this stuff, right? Okay, and now it's going, all right, now we got all that sorted. Now it's on the HTTP protocol, and it's getting all the HTTP stuff. So if we go here, you can, I'm sure if you follow this, you can see, yeah. And then if you go to the HTTP, follow HTTP stream, yeah. Anyways, and it goes further into this. You can take that, like this data, and turn it into stuff, anything. So I mean, you can look at it too by doing other stuff, but I forget. This was a long time ago I took this Wireshark class. But the more you understand what you're looking at, the better, right? And that's the whole point. So, and I don't have a lot of experience with Wireshark, but in this book, it kind of explains it pretty cool on what this is, the SYN acknowledged. So now, then you got PSH acknowledged and stuff, and you could look that up, and you can see what's going on. So now it's here at your source, at your at the website, and it's going to your box, sure. And then it's on the TCP protocol, and it's going from port 80 to your box. This is your box, I guess, port, and it's acknowledging that it got your website, the web information. So this is what it's doing. It's going back and forth, and it's getting you information, and you're acknowledging that you got it. PSH, and then so this is what it's doing, right? That's what it's doing. So broke it up in a bunch of different packets, and you can look at the packets, and you can follow them. So that's the whole point of this, right? Get a book on Wireshark, okay? And read it, and it's gonna explain all this to you. And it's not too complicated, right? You don't got to get a master's degree or a degree to understand what this is. How you're basically, it breaks it down in this book for you easily too. So I mean, if you go back to all this, right, to this chapter, and over here, and you look at this is exactly this is the SYN handshake, right? And basically, hi, I'm Bob, hi, I'm Alice, that's what I was just showing you right now. So that's what it does, right? And then I think there was one that was actually showing the handshake, but maybe not. But anyway, yeah, so I'm sure there was one in here. But anyways, That's what it's showing you, right? So this chapter is just awesome. So go ahead and uh, go through and practice this, and we'll end this video. And on the next video, we'll look at the analyzing, and I'll run through the exercises. So I hope you had fun, and I'll see you on the next Hack the File.